Hello, I'm Ethan. I am sad and I have a camera. I don't know if that's gonna be the intro. Any, I gotta work on that. I will go ahead and say there's gonna be some spoilers in this. Not a whole lot. I mean, it's gonna be kind of hard to spoil the movie because just so much weird stuff just happens, and it's gonna be hard to process it anyway. So, go in, watch the movie, and have fun. It's It's a good one. But yeah, there are going to be some light spoilers for small things. Tetsuo does something really interesting with its whole like concept and idea. It feels like a incoherent like nightmare. It has a lot of um, like surreal elements. It has a lot of experimental elements. It's very industrial. I love it. I mean, right? I mean, I got Nine Inch Nails open in the background. Don't mind the water bottle. I love anything industrial. I think it's fun as long as it's done right. And this does it really right. I mean, just listen to this music. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty good. It's a very interesting movie. Mixes body horror, like a human drama element, and it also has maybe a little bit of a gay awakening for the character, but you know, that might just be speculation. And saxophone music. Saxophone music. Jazz. What the fuck? So the movie is about a salaryman. That is the entire character's name. That's all we get. Who lives a very boring life with his girlfriend. And at one point, he starts slowly turning into metal. Not just like a shiny like sheen of like a metal skin, like rough bits like bursting out of him. They're like jagged, crumpled up, like nails, springs, all that type of stuff. Just slowly, just like forcing their way out. And doesn't know why. What makes this movie special to me is a really well done use of that whole like body horror element, that whole like what makes you human. And I think this one more cares about the journey to what you are rather than explaining what you are. But if you'd really like to know, it's a giant metal penis, kinda. I mean, look at this thing. What else is this supposed to be? Why does it look like that? But it's a fun journey. It took me until right now to realize that the colors are moving around on my monitor, and I thought that was just like something wrong with my camera. As he slowly turns into metal, all the emotions from him start coming out of like the confused, the scared, the anger, just kind of like all gets enhanced. And it starts making it really feel like you get that feeling of like, you know, you can't really do anything about what's going on, and you can't really just sit by and let it happen, even though that's all you can really do. The frustration with the whole situation is delivered really well. I need my notes. I wrote out an entire script and I'm not even following it. My cord is not that long. I got my notes. This is a big clusterfuck of a video. So as he starts getting more frustrated, they introduce another character known as the Metal Fetishist. Great character name, and rather than have the scared, confused reaction, he fully embraces it and in fact just kind of loves everything about it. No one ever taught me how to read. Neither of the two characters really care much about their lives per se. They both seem relatively like unhappy or uninterested in anything, but only one person is really doing something about it, and that is the metal fetishist. As the whole film goes on, everything just increases, ramps up. Salaryman turns into this like uncontrollable rage, and His whole life is just dissolved around him. Just nothing will ever be the same. It's a really just interesting kind of like things you can't help but to feel bad for him. Even if he is turning into a piece of shit, you still you still feel bad for him. By the time the ending comes around, he is no longer himself anymore. He's just a amalgamation of oil, flesh, steel, wires, and the only person that can really relate to him is the metal fetishist. With the last lines of the movie coming up, our love can destroy this whole fucking world. And that is a great line to end the movie with. That is a great line. That's one of my favorite lines of any movie ever, just in general. This is a really incoherent mess of a thing. Tetsuo has become a really big favorite of mine. Sure, it might be a little headache inducing at times. It might be one of the weirder movies you've ever seen, but it takes risks, and it does a lot for its tiny, tiny budget. It goes in with kind of weird concept, but does the most it possibly can with it. And it is way more impactful and emotional than the concept would even suggest. You hear it, it might sound a little goofy, it might sound interesting, but there's so much more to it. And it's not really something you can put into words. At least I can't put into words. I'm not the brightest person. You will feel something. At the very least, you will feel something. That is a guarantee from watching this movie. Whether it's that pure, what the fuck did I just watch? Why am I doing this? To, wow, that's sad and beautiful and wonderful. And Ethan was right. This is a great movie. Maybe you won't think that, but maybe you'll like it. And that's all I really care about. I'm just talking about movies that I enjoy and I like and that I love, hoping someone else will check it out too. That's all this really is. I'm not trying to review the movie, I'm just talking about why I like it. Everything about this nightmare of a movie, I don't want to say nightmare twice, but you know, it's right there, whatever. Everything about this movie is so much more impactful visually, at the very least visually, and sound-wise. I mean, the sound is incredible. It's very grating. It's very unnaturally... Everything is just unnaturally metallic, which... Oh wow, it's guy turning into metal. Ooh, it's gonna sound metallic. But there's just this, like, uncomfortability with the sound. And I love that. It really adds to the whole experience. Something else that adds to the experience is the super grainy, contrasty, black and white, 16mm photography. It's so good. Photography, cinematography, either one. Director of photography, fuck you. It takes the whole theme of the whole, what am I? What am I turning into? Um, at what point am I still human at this point? At this point, what? And executes it, in my opinion, perfectly. I think it is a very, very excellent movie. It's just got everything I want in a movie. Very disgusting. It's very visceral, like, from a technical standpoint. Like I said, with the sound and the visuals and all that. And it's also just really emotional, surprisingly. Maybe not surprisingly. I mean, it's a guy turning into metal. You're gonna feel his emotions. But it's got more to it than I expected. I mean, the guy's penis turns into a fucking drill. What more do you want? I don't know what this structure is gonna be like. I don't know if any of the other videos are gonna be anything like this. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I just want to hang out. That's all I'm doing here is just hanging out, talking about a movie with some of you. You're not responding, but you know, you're listening, and that's all that really matters to me. Okay.